Hello everyone and welcome to a tag video. I have seen this tag at a couple of different channels. I don't know who the original creator is. If I can find it, I will link the original creator in the description box. I don't know right off. I've got to do a little bit more research, but I wanted to film this while I had the time to do this. I saw this on a couple of different channels. The most recent one was... I can't even remember because it's been at least a week and where I've seen a couple of these. Anyway, I saw them on several channels. Okay, so the 20 questions tag. I wrote the questions down. I did not fill out any response or anything. They're just the questions, just listed, no answers. Obviously, I heard the questions and heard responses from the various booktubers that I saw do this. And then when I decided I wanted to do this, I wrote the questions down. Didn't even think about them. So I don't remember all of them. Actually, I don't remember any of them. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So you're getting genuine, non-thought out answers. Yeah, well, let's just get into this. Okay. Number 1. How many books is too many books in a series? I don't have a preference. I think I can tell you if it's too little in a series, one book would be too little, obviously, because it would be a standalone. But if like the author writes this massive cliffhanger, I want to know what's going to happen next. But if they intend not to continue on with that story, then I'm not too happy about that. But as far as too much, I think it's just until you get tired of it. I know there's series out there that are like 15, 20, 75 books. It just, if the author can keep things fresh and intriguing and keep you engaged in it and enjoying it, then it doesn't matter the length. I will be very happy reading a series that's just a duology, a standalone, or 100 books in the series. I don't care, again, as long as I don't get tired of the story and the same thing is not repeated over and over and over and over and over in that series. I want new things to happen. So just until you get tired of it, then it's too much. So, okay. Number 2, how do you feel about cliffhangers? Not my favorite. I like to know what's going to happen. Now, like I had mentioned previously, if the author does a cliffhanger and has no intention of following up so that you know how things are going to resolve, I don't like that. But if you will find out in the second or third book in a series, that's fine. Still not the greatest happiness, whatever about that. I do like to know how things will end, but I understand that that's not always going to be the case. So I'm mixed. As long as it's done well, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it. I'll deal even better if I know there's going to be another book that will answer questions. Most, if not all. Preferably all. Okay. Number 3, hardcover or paperback? Paperback. The reason being is a lot of the times the paperbacks are lighter to carry. They're just easier to carry. The other thing is that they tend to be cheaper than the hardbacks. So save yourself $10. I'm all for that. I'd rather do the paperbacks. Now, if I start out with a hardback series or it only comes in hardback, that's fine. Occasionally, very rarely, I think it's only happened 2 or 3 times where I've seen the hardback cheaper than the paperback. And that does not happen very often. So I am saying paperback because it's easier to handle, so it's not quite so heavy, and it's cheaper. So why not get 2 paperback books for the price of 1 hardback book? I mean, the only other way I'll do, say, hardback, again, like I've already bought the first book or received the first book, and then I'll do hardback for the rest of the series. Or if, let's say the whole series is out or the book is already out, but I like the cover of the hardback better than the cover of the paperback. But usually paperback over the hardback. Okay. Number 4, favorite book. The first one that popped into my mind just now is House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. Love that book. So I guess we'll stay with that one. Yeah. Okay. Number 5, least favorite book. Anything I've DNF'd? Pretty much. Yeah. But what's my least favorite out of all the ones I've DNF'd? I don't know, because I don't remember everything that I've DNF'd. I don't literally do not have an answer for this one as far as what book that would be. I don't know. Okay, let's go ahead and move on, because I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Okay, love triangles, yes or no? They're okay if they're done well. Most of the time, I don't care for them. I find them annoying because they get so messy. They're just not my favorite thing. I mean, it's not going to put me off from reading a book unless it's done so horribly and there's other things that bother me about the book. But I would prefer no love triangle. And those tend to be the ones I enjoy the most anyway. They tend to get more 4 and 5 star reviews or ratings over not. I hope I'm making sense. Anyway, yeah, no, I prefer love triangles not to exist. I don't understand the appeal of them. I just don't. I think they just get messy. And a lot of stuff that stems from them are just not needed. So, no, I'm going to say no. I'm not a fan, but I'll deal with it if it's written well. Yeah, they're not my favorite. Okay. Number 7, the most recent book you just couldn't finish. Trying to remember. Let me grab my Goodreads. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to go through my most recent reads on Goodreads and see what's one I just couldn't finish. Oh, that I just couldn't finish. Okay, I was thinking about this the wrong way. Okay, that I just couldn't finish. I am going to say, I think it was, nope, it was No Exit by Taylor Adams. DNF'd it. I found it dull. Couldn't finish it. I was just not going to put myself through being bored. So, okay. Number 8, a book you're currently reading. Let me grab. Okay, so I have a couple of books going at the same time. I don't like having this many books going, but for some reason I do. I just want to get these ones done. So one book I have going is called Chasing Alexander. It's a nonfiction. It says it's a Marine's journey across Iraq and Afghanistan. This one I got to read off of NetGalley for review. So I just had an email one day and said, hey, would you like to read this? I was like, great. Yeah. Okay. I have the first in a series. Let me see. I've got it pulled up right here. Let me see how. Well, it looks like there's 3 books in this. Anyway, it's called Hangman, and the series is called Timothy Blake, and it's by Jack Heath. I'm listening to this on Audible. It's a horror. It's a little graphic as far as being gory because it's about a cannibal. So, cannibalism. Okay. Now, I'm reading Fire by Kristen Kishore, which is the second in the Graceling series. Reading that on my ebook. Physically, I've got 4 books. I'm reading War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, which will not be done this month. I'm not even 100 pages in. I'm reading Valor by John Gwynne. A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith, and The Space Between Worlds by Micah Johnson. So those are what I'm currently reading. I know it only asks for 1 book, but I gave you all of them. So as of filming this, that's what I'm reading. Okay. Number 9, last book you recommended to someone. The House on the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. Recommended that to my mom. Got her to read it. She's reading it right now. Okay. Number 10, oldest book you've read by publication date. Couldn't tell you. I read classics. I like classics. What's the oldest classic I've ever read? I don't know. I mean, War and Peace could fit into that. I just don't know if it's the oldest one. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. Newest book you've read by publication date. Let me look at what I've read so far this year. Because I think I've had one that was a new release. Yes, it was a children's book by Aaron Blabby called Pig the Monster. There you go. Pre-ordered it for my mom. She read it. I read it. Yeah, it's a children's picture book. There are a few words, but yeah. So that's the newest book I've read. Okay. Number 12, favorite author, R.L. Stine. I've said that before. I'll say it again. R.L. Stine. R.L. Stine's Fear Street books are the ones that got me into reading. So, R.L. Stine is my favorite is my favorite author. Okay, number 13. Buying books or borrowing books? Both. I'm leaning more towards borrowing right now because I've got to pay off some debt before I can really buy some more. I have pre-ordered some stuff. Occasionally I'll still buy stuff for rewards and stuff. But I do want to borrow more books. So the book that I'm reading, The Space Between Worlds, this is a library book. So everything else I own. But I do prefer buying the books because I like having my own copies of things. But I do need to get in the habit of borrowing the book from the library first to see if I like the author's writing and like the book and want to invest my own money into owning the book. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now with that answer. Typically both, but I need to borrow more books. Okay, number 14. A book you dislike that everyone else seems to love. I don't remember the author. I really didn't like the book. And I feel bad because I built it up in my head and I've heard so many good things about it, but it just fell way flat for me. And unfortunately, that's Felix Ever After. One of my biggest pet peeves in books is when the main character complains about similar, if not the same things, quite a bit. And I felt like there was a lot of complaining. I think there was a lot of potential for it. Again, I was so excited, but I was just let down. I couldn't stand all the complaining. I mean, there were valid reasons for the character to be complaining, but with the amount of complaining that was done, I finished it. I wanted to DNF it, but I finished it. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I know how it ended. I wasn't expecting the ending with who did the dead name insult to Felix. I thought that was very uncalled for that person to do that to begin with. But I just felt like it was just too much complaining for my taste, and so I just didn't like it. I really wanted to. I was so disappointed. Anyway, let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Bookmarks or dog ears? Bookmarks. I don't dog ear. I will use a clean Kleenex, random piece of paper, something. I don't dog ear the pages. I don't. I've never dog eared. Well, I shouldn't say never. Maybe I did at some point, but I would prefer not to dog ear. Unless I'm doing a magazine, then I will dog ear. If I'm reading a magazine, I will dog ear the magazine. Sometimes I'll tear out the little flyers that they have throughout the magazines that are advertisements like subscribe for 25% off. Sometimes I'll use those. Other times I just dog ear the magazine. That's really the only thing I dog ear in magazines. Okay. Bookmarks. And I like collecting bookmarks. So I'd rather use a bookmark. I have a lot of bookmarks. why not use something that's really pretty that I like? So, okay. A book you can always reread. Any of the Fear Street books by R.L. Stine. I've reread several of them. Could I tell you what one I've reread? No. I've reread multiple of them, but I can always reread them because they just have a special place for me. They're very nostalgic. Again, like I said earlier, and I've said several times, the R.L. Stine Fear Street books are what got me interested and loving to read. And so, yeah, they can be cheesy, but I love them. And I'll just always reread them. I love them. And they're very quick. And so you want just kind of like a nice, I use them too sometimes as a nice palate cleanser. When I've read some heavy duty stuff, they're just kind of light. I mean, they're paranormal horror for YA, like on the younger, anyway, you'll know when you look at it, but I love them. Okay, let's go ahead and, okay, that was number 15. No, that was 16. Okay, number 17. Can you read while listening to music? Depends how loud the music is and what kind of music. Can I read while listening to like Hilary Duff or Taylor Swift or Black Eyed Peas or Fergie or I'm drawing a blank. Beyonce, Destiny's Child. Oh, I like Destiny's Child. I need to listen to more of their stuff. Anyway, no. I can't read while listening to that because I want to get up and sing. No. But can I listen to instrumental music, whether it's classical, maybe even jazz that doesn't have any vocals, or the instrumental sounds of soundtracks? Yes, that I can do, but not if there's words. That I'll just get too distracted. So no. So no for lyrical, yes for instrumental. There you go. Okay. 3 more questions. 1 POV or multiple POVs, aka points of view? Both. I like it when it's one. I like multiple POVs. The only time I struggle with multiple POVs is when there's, let's say, 5 POVs and there's no meeting place or there's no common thread. It's all different times, it's all different situations, different perspectives. I mean, obviously it's a POV. Then I have a hard time with it and get confused. But I do find it interesting for like the same thing to happen, but someone else to say, this is how I dealt with it. Or for someone to go through it and you're getting their perspective, but then someone else's perspective for the aftermath of it. I do like multiple POVs, and I like one point of view as well. Most of the books I read are one POV, but when I do get a book with multiple POVs, I do like those. So I'm going to say both. Number 19. Do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? Usually over multiple days, because on the days that I work, where I work a 10-hour shift, I can't read a book in one sitting. If the book is so engrossing, sometimes if it's my day off, I can read a book in one sitting. Obviously with bathroom breaks and food breaks, but and graphic novels and mangas, usually I can read those in one sitting because they're so quick. But usually a regular novel will be over the course of multiple days. Okay. And number 20, who do I tag? You know what? I don't know how old this tag is. I don't know who all has done this tag. I'm going to tag... Okay. I'll tag a few people that came to my mind. I would like to see... I'll only tag 2 people. Gaia from Gaia Athena, if Gaia would like to do this. If not, I know tags are not for everyone, that's fine. But I think that'd be interesting. But I don't know if Gaia's done this or not. So, sorry if you've been tagged already. And I've already done it. The other one, it's the same thing. Don't know if they've done it. Don't know if they've already been tagged. But I would like to see Becky and Scott from the Bookish Bryants do this tag as well. And obviously, if any of you 3, Gaia, Becky, and Scott, see this, and then you'll know you're tagged. If not, that's fine. That's fine. If anyone wants to do this, you're more than welcome to say that you've been tagged by me. But I know a lot of booktubers say that as well. But just do this tag if you want. That's all I can say. So that's it. I'll try and list, if you want to do this tag, I'll list the questions in the description box. I will try to find the original creator. Again, I don't know. And several of the booktube creators that I saw that did this tag also did not know. So I don't know if I will be able to find the original creator. If you know who the original creator is, definitely let me know in the description box or in the comments if I haven't linked it. Definitely want to make sure they get credit where credit is due. This is a great tag. It was fun. Yeah, I had fun. If there's any other tags that you would like to see me do, let me know. Otherwise, if I see a tag that I like, then I'll do it. I know I haven't seen a lot because there's a plethora of tags. I know I haven't seen a lot of them. So, but those are my answers for the 20 questions tag. So, hope you guys are doing well. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I'll talk to you later.